Okay, so first of all, I'm going to read the satirical elegy, and then I'm going to talk about the title, and that'll be the end of this video. And then there'll be another video about, I think, about the first bit, and another video about the second bit. So let's read it. His Grace, impossible. What, dead? Of old age too, and in his bed? And could that mighty warrior fall, and so inglorious after all? Well, since he's gone, no matter how, the last loud trump must wake him now. And trust me, as the noise grows stronger, he'd wish to sleep a little longer. And could he be indeed so old as by the newspapers we're told? 70, I think's pretty high. 'Twas time in conscience he should die. This world he cumbered long enough, he burnt his candle to the snuff. And that's the reason, some folks think, he left behind so great a stink. Behold, his funeral appears, nor widow's sighs, nor orphan's tears want at such times each heart to pierce, attend the progress of his hearse. But what of that his friends may say? He had those honours in his day. True to his profit and his pride, he made them weep before he died. Come hither, all ye empty things, ye bubbles raised by breath of kings, who float upon the tide of state. Come hither, and behold your fate. Let pride be taught by this rebuke, how very mean a thing's a duke. From all his ill-got honours flung, turn to the dirt from whence he sprung. So what I'm expecting on first reading is that you haven't got a clue what's going on. So I'm just going to check with my class. Okay, I checked with my class and they really don't know what it's about, apart from the fact that someone's definitely dead. So this is about the title. Let's look at this word elegy first of all. And here I will tap it in, and it means a sad poem, usually to express sorrow for someone who is dead. A speech at a funeral is called a eulogy, and a poem about the dead person saying how sad you are is called an elegy. So this should be a sad poem because a major has died, a general has died. Let me just get Ben on my. This is a famous elegy I used to teach for GCSE. Farewell, thou hand of my right hand, thou child of my right hand and joy. My sin was too much hope of thee, loved boy. 7 years you were lent to me, and I thee pay exacted by thy fate on the just day. And then he says, rest in soft peace. And asks, say, here does lie Ben Jonson, his best piece of poetry. That's about the death of his son. It used to kill me having to teach that. And that's what you expect. Cara, do you want to do that? That's what you expect for an elegy, from an elegy. But instead, we get a satirical elegy on the death of a late famous general. So we get a poem that's pretending to be an elegy, but is sarcastic. You are not allowed to use the word sarcastic. It sort of means sarcastic. I'm now moving to what satirical means. So it's a ridiculing elegy on someone being dead, which is not very nice, is it? For us normally. I remember when Margaret Thatcher died, there were lots of people, what trended was, ha ha, the witch is dead. But it really grates. I really did not like her as a prime minister, but I don't like people saying stuff like that about dead, someone who's died and their family, and everything. So he's really attacking this man who's died. But the clue is in the title. Why didn't he just say an elegy on the death of a late famous general? And then you see that it's attacking him. He's actually told you right there in the title that it's going to be ridiculing him. So let's have a look at satirical. What does that mean? Satire, that's not helping. It's the adjective from satire. Humour, irony, exaggeration or ridicule to expose and criticise people's stupidity or vices. So the main thing I want you to have is that it's to it's meant to make things better. You criticize someone's stupidity and what's wrong with them in order to kind of correct it, for them to say, oh, I really shouldn't be like that. So it's got this moral about it. Criticize, yeah, get that written down. That's what it is. So, and it's quite a popular type of entertainment for us today. I got you to write about a satirical puppet show called Spitting Image, where President Trump's stupidity, misogyny, lack of interest in information, dismissal of key workers was all criticised. And technically, he should watch satires like that and change his ways. But that doesn't seem to work ever on anyone. So Spitting Image was a very famous one. I don't know. They were TV shows. Has anyone here seen the thick of it? It's the best comedy that has ever existed. It's also got a lot of swearing in it because it's about political aides in Westminster, like trying to manage news stories that come up. You might say The In-Betweeners is satirical about teenagers. They're not very famous. Sometimes The Simpsons can be satirical about big business. Do you know the kind of capitalist guy that owns the nuclear power station? What's his name? Mr. Burns. Yeah, that's its most satirical level. But these are pretty old, aren't they? Do you know The Office? It's a satire on office life with Ricky Gervais. But it was so satirical that some people, it's also a satire on TV documentaries, but it was so satirical that some people thought it was a documentary just straight up. They didn't realize it was being sarcastic. What about Alan Partridge? You guys don't know him, do you? Oh, these are brilliant programs. And Alan Partridge is a satire of that whole kind of TV personality, radio personality culture. There was this group called, this one called Spinal Tap. I'll see if I can get the trailer, the proper trailer. I don't know if I'd have the, and you can't see it very well either. And I don't know how this is going to record on stream. Just let me turn it up a bit.
What do you call this? Well, this piece is called Lick My Lap Pump.
This is the loudest, rock and roll, most explosive band in heavy metal history. This is Spinal Tap.
There's such a fine line between stupid and clever.
The funniest movie ever made about rock and roll.
Shows on vomit. Well, I can't prove whose vomit it was.
The monumental classic.
There was a Stone Age monument on the stage that was in danger of being crushed by a dwarf.
The makeup of your audience seems to be young boys.
Well, it's a sexual thing, really.
We've got, armadillos and old charities. I mean, it's really quite frightening.
No, I was just pointing at it. What that point? Sure,
Okay.
It's much worse if I want under such a.
So that was a famous film, and it was. Hello?
I can't see.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. I'm moving on. It's only a bit point, Ruben. It's a very important point. That.
Anything like that.
Oh, Ruben, hang on a minute. I'm finding your phone call. I'm sharing this screen all over the place. Luckily, I am recording it as a video as well.
Oh, that's better. Thank you.
I don't know what's happening to my original video. Oh, that's still going. So what am I saying? That Spinal Tap video was ridiculing a satire on heavy metal bands, but some people didn't know it was a satire and became Spinal Tap fans, and like really loved the band and like followed them. Didn't get it. So that's always the danger, that people don't get it. So I think I'm at the end. Oh, I just need to quickly show you who this guy is. Important for you, right on. He doesn't name him. He never tells you who is a late famous general. I'll just get him for you. What is the target? John Churchill, the first Duke of Marlborough. And it's quite interesting that he doesn't say that. If you want to criticize someone, surely you say it. And there's an image of him. That's what it looked like. He's got the full wig on and the long curly hair that you had to have to be a real man in those days. That's him dressed for battle. And then he went on to be in Parliament and a politician, very close to Queen Anne. So that's who he is. And the only reason I've ever heard of him is because of this poem. So this poem, Knocking Him Down, is the only reason anyone knows who he is. Is that an irony in itself? That he would be a nobody in history if a poem attacking him hadn't been written. So that's the end of that video.